Hi, besties. Welcome back. So, I know a lot of my videos lately have been like a day in the life or like a hair transformation, which I'm still getting used to, by the way. I'm a natural brunette, but this is a lot darker than my natural hair. I feel like it looks a lot lighter in the camera, but when I look at my hair in the bathroom, it's like so much darker. And I've been a redhead for a couple of months now, so it's gonna take some getting used to. So, as someone who's very, very new to filming themselves on camera, talking into a tiny fuzzy microphone, I'm still figuring out how I want to put myself on TikTok, on Instagram, on the internet. And I know the things that I want to talk about, but I just have the problem of getting them to the people that need to hear it or want to hear it or want to share. I'm going to be trying to post more to get more people to see my page so that we can connect. But something that I wanted to touch on was struggling with an eating disorder since I was 13, which also comes with body dysmorphia and, years of insecurity and never really feeling comfortable in your own skin. For me, the worst part of my eating disorder was when I was in high school. I think it was probably grade 11 or grade 12 was when I had hit the lowest or peak point of my eating disorder, depends on how you want to look at it. There would be times where I would pretend to go to school and I would stay home and I would binge eat and purge until I either saw blood or until I passed out. It was really, really scary. And what kind of put it into perspective was a very awful story that I heard about a beautiful girl who passed away, and it shook me to my core. After reading about what had happened to her, it was almost as if that was sort of like a wake up call for me. And while it didn't cure me in any kind of way, it definitely helped me to see how serious of an illness this is. And it's not just, I don't want to be bullied for being fat anymore, or I want boys to like me, or I don't want, comments from family, from coworkers, from strangers, from friends, even, and also from boyfriends too. That one was one that really, really hurt the most was when it came from partners. There are still some things that some of my ex-boyfriends have said to me from like 6 years ago that still hurt and I'll never forget it. I was diagnosed bulimic, and I can safely say that I have not purposefully binged or purged in, gosh, what, 9 months? Maybe a year, honestly. I've lost track, which is insane considering at my lowest point, I was doing it multiple times a day. Even though I wasn't consuming anything, this eating disorder was consuming me, and it had affected my mental health so badly. And I could tell that there were other people in my life close to me, like friends that I was going to school with, who were also struggling with the same thing, different eating disorder, but still struggling just to see how beautiful and amazing they are. A lot of people don't understand just how much of an impact an eating disorder has on a person. And I feel like it's such a taboo topic that people don't talk about, especially on social media, which is why I want to talk about it. It is not shameful, it is an addiction just like everything else, and it's an illness, and there might not be pills that you can take as medication for a cure, because even if you haven't relapsed in years or decades or anything, it is still always with you. It's something that never goes away, but you can learn how to manage it. I just wish that I could go back to my 13, 14-year-old self and and just tell her not to do it for the first time, but to instead focus on being healthy and getting good fun exercise and not having it be such a burden to do those things. And also just like how much this like young teenage girl would learn to love the gym and the people in it. My body over the last, what, 14 years, my body over the last 14 years has changed drastically. At my lowest, I was 110 pounds soaking wet. I was skin and bones. And that happened after a long term relationship where I was in a very toxic relationship and I also had a very toxic work environment. So I didn't really have like a safe space for me to be. I think I lost like 60 pounds in like 10 months. It was insanity, really. And I was so unhealthy, so dehydrated and malnourished. And the crazy thing is, I still thought I was fat. Think about that for a second. I was 110 pounds and I still thought that I was too fat. I have also been on the other side of the scale where I've been 200 plus pounds and also not feeling comfortable in my body in a different way and not feeling like myself. And I've also been 140 pounds, 160 pounds, 180 pounds. It doesn't matter because I have grown into the person that I am today, and my values are the same despite my weight changing. And I'm someone who firmly believes that you are always growing and changing and learning, and that's what life is for. Whether you're 8 or 80, it doesn't matter. I'm always just trying to be a better person, to learn from, you know, people say that they're mistakes, which they can be for sure. For me, it's learning life lessons. And sometimes you have to learn things the hard way, and that's okay. But as long as you're learning. So if you're someone like me who has struggled with an eating disorder, PCOS, there are other things that I may or may not disclose on this channel that, I know a lot of people will relate to, but there's definitely a trigger warning with that video if I ever make it. So that will all depend. And if you can relate to any of this, or if there's something that you're interested in talking about or hearing about, welcome, bestie. Come join me. This is just going to be a very honest page about, things that society tells you not to talk about or social media, and to just say, you know, screw it, talk about it, because then it won't be so taboo and won't be so scary to talk about. Anyways, thank you for watching, bestie. Love you. See you next time.